ప్రార్థన చేసిన నేను పంచుకోవడానికి నాకు ఇచ్చిన అవకాశం బట్టి మనం ప్రభా అయితే ప్రభా నేను మాట్లాడుతున్నాను ప్రభా నేను ఒక 4 నిమిషాలు నేను నిన్నే కనపరిచేదాన్ని ప్రభుత్వం చూపించేదాన్ని నాకు సహాయం అనుగ్రహించండి కంట్రోల్లో కంప్లీట్గా పెట్టుకుని నడుపుకోవడానికి దాంతో మనకి ఆరోపిస్తే వేస్తున్నామని ప్రార్థన కాయలు క్షణాంతండి. 33:27. Deuteronomy 33:27.
Eternal God is thy refuge.
And underneath are his everlasting arms. And Psalm 7, Genesis 32:10 is another verse. Genesis 32:10.
Not worthy of the least of all the mercies and all the truth which you have shown your servant, for I crossed over this Jordan.
And that's enough. These things I stand before you today as a living proof of these verses. I know He does wonders in His word, and I saw it in my life. And also, this eternal God, He became my refuge, and He put His arms underneath me. Okay, this is what I share, and what I read in Genesis 32:10 was said by Jacob. But in my life, I say it with all my heart. I'm not worthy of all the mercies and the truth that He has shown me. ఆయన చేసిన ఉపకారములు ఇంకోటి సమస్తమైన ఉపకారములు సమస్తమైన సత్యమునకు నేను పాత్రుడను కాను అని ఆయన అన్నది నా లైఫ్లో చాలా నిజమైంది అది. అయితే నాకు I had to undergo a gynae surgery. So I waited for an appointment for 1.5 years because I was on a queue. But when that surgery happened, I underwent 2 times where I had to face a high risk and a life-threatening issue aindi. But before I share that with you, how God has been good to me, because I want to share His goodness with you, because you were with me in prayers. You actually supported me with prayers, and God heard that prayer. And I want to share that with you. But just before that, I want to show you how God prepared me for this event. He has been preparing me for a few months before that. So first thing when the NHS does, plan a surgery, they give you a pre-op assessment. So July 1st was my pre-op assessment. On that day, in the morning, I prayed, Lord, so they are going to start the procedure. You have to tell me something. అంటే నా డైలీ పోర్షన్లో నేను ఓల్డ్ టెస్ట్మెంట్లో ఒక చాప్టర్ చదువుతాను, అలా సామ్ ఒకటి చదువుతాను. ఓకే, ఎవ్రీ మార్నింగ్. అయితే ఆ రోజు సామ్ 71:20లో నీవు మరలా మమ్మను బ్రతికించేదవు, భూమి యొక్క అగాధ స్థలములలో నీవు మరలా మమ్మను లేవనెత్తేదవు అనుంది. అయితే నేనేమనుకున్నా ఆ రోజు, ఆయన నన్ను మరలా బతికిస్తా అంటున్నాడు అంటే I'll survive again because I had undergone surgery before also. So He's going to give me life అనుకున్నా. It gave me joy, and then because that was the important day for me. ఆ తర్వాత I was expecting an appointment from them. ఎందుకంటే pre-op assessment will be valid for 3 months. So I was expecting it every day. అయితే వాళ్ళు ఏమన్నారు, నాకు చేయాల్సిన సర్జన్ he broke his arm. So they said, no, you are not going to have it for 3 months. Then we planned to go to India. And when I went to India, they started calling me. Then we came back and we thought, okay, they are calling me, kada, they will call me anukunna. One Sunday we came here to Bethel prayer house. So book room was open on that day. అయితే నేను ఫస్ట్ పోయి కొనుక్కున్నాను, ఒక పోస్టర్ కొన్నా. అయితే పోస్టర్ మీద ఏముండే అంటే సామ్ 3:5 ఉండే. ఇట్ సేస్ ద లార్డ్ సస్టైన్డ్ మీ అని ఉంది దాంట్లో. అని ఉంది కదా, ఆధారం అని ఉంది తెలుగులో. దాన్ని ఏమని ఉందంటే సామ్ 3:5లో So I didn't know the poster did not say the whole verse, but it says only the Lord sustained me. Then I went home and I read the whole verse. Actually, previously I used to be very scared of anesthesia. Anesthesia అంటే నాకు ఎందుకో చాలా భయం. వీళ్ళు పండుకోబెట్టి ఏం చేస్తారు వీళ్ళు అన్నది నాకు ఫియర్ ఉంటుండే. అయితే అందుకని ఈ వర్డ్స్ ఇచ్చినారు అని నేను హ్యాపీ అయిపోయినా. అప్పుడు ఏంటంటే నేను ఐ లే డౌన్ అండ్ స్లెప్ట్ అండ్ ఐ అవోక్ అంటున్నాడు కదా. కానీ నెక్స్ట్ వర్డ్స్, ఐ విల్ నాట్ బీ అఫ్రేడ్ ఆఫ్ 10,000 ఆఫ్ పీపుల్ దట్ హ్యావ్ సెట్ దెమ్సెల్వ్స్ అగైన్స్ట్ మీ అరౌండ్ మీ. ఆ వర్డ్స్ సంగతి నాకు ఇప్పుడు అర్థమవుతుంది కానీ అప్పుడు అర్థం కాలేదు. సో దట్ వాజ్ ద వర్డ్స్ హీ గేవ్ మీ. అండ్ దెన్ దే కాల్డ్ మీ on October 14 they called me. On that day, on calendar verse was Joshua 1:9. Joshua 1:9 is a very important verse for our family because any new thing happens, this God is so faithful, he gives that verse. ప్రతిసారి అదే జరుగుతుంటుంది మా ఫ్యామిలీలో. సో అది వస్తే నేను అనుకున్నా ఓకే నేను రెడీ అవుతున్నా అనుకున్నా. దెన్ దే పోస్ట్పోన్డ్ ఇట్. From 14th of October, they postponed it to 31st of October. On 31st of October, the week before that was a half-term week. So God was preparing me the whole week. And on that Sunday, we came here. And the message was from Zechariah 10. Zechariah 10:12, it's written, "So I will strengthen," that's the last verse in that chapter. "I will strengthen them in the Lord, and they shall walk up and down in His name." నేను అనుకున్నా అరే అయినా నేను బికాజ్ ఐ కేమ్ టు ద హిస్ ప్రెజెన్స్ లైక్ ఆస్కింగ్ హిమ్, లార్డ్ ప్లీజ్ టాక్ టు మీ ఈరోజు బికాజ్ దిస్ ఫ్రైడే ఐ హ్యావ్ అ సర్జరీ, టెల్ మీ సంథింగ్ అని అనుకొని వస్తే he said, "I will strengthen them in the Lord, and they shall walk up and down in His name." So I understood like okay, He's going to give me some strength. I'm going to recover from the surgery అనుకొని అట్లా నేను అర్థం చేసుకున్నా. On that day, church elders prayed for me and they gave me a promise from Jeremiah 33:6. Okay, so I will bring health and cure and I will give you abundance of peace. That was the verse, and we were very happy and we went home. So the next Monday I was at home, so I was reading my daily portion very slowly. Okay, on Monday my daily portion was at that time in that week it was the last part of Old Testament, Zechariah and Malachi anamata. Aithe dantlo Zechariah 12:5 Jerusalem nivasulu, I'm reading it just to save time. Okay, Jerusalem nivasulu tama దేవుడైన యెహోవాను నమ్ముకొనుట చేత బలము కలుగుచున్నదని తమ హృదయం నందు చెప్పుకొందురు అంట. అయితే ముందర సండే రోజున he said, "I will strengthen them in the Lord." The word strength became very specific to me, like I felt very comforted by that word, and the same things repeated the next day. Okay, వాళ్ళు బలము కలుగుచున్నదని తమ హృదయమందు చెప్పుకొందురు అని. ఈయన మళ్ళా స్ట్రెంగ్త్ అని చెప్తున్నాడు. నాకు ఎప్పుడైనా వెన్ సంథింగ్ రిపీట్స్ ఇన్ ద వర్డ్ ఆఫ్ గాడ్, ఐ థింక్ ఇట్ కమ్స్ ఫ్రమ్ ద లార్డ్. సో హీ సేయింగ్ దట్ అనుకోండి. అండ్ ఇన్ దట్ డే మై సామ్ వర్స్ 27. నేను ఎవరికి వెరతును, ఆయన నా ప్రాణదుర్గం. సో ఐ థాట్ హీస్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ మై లైఫ్, ప్రాణదుర్గం అంటున్నారు కదా. సో హీ విల్ హెల్ప్ మీ ఇన్ దిస్ అనుకొని ఐ వాజ్ గెటింగ్ కరేజ్ ఫ్రమ్ దీస్ వర్సెస్. Tuesday, the next day, Old Testament portion nunchi, "The Lord is their strength, and He is the saving refuge of His anointed." And when this word repeated the third time, I started noting it down. I note things down on my phone, so I started noting it down. And in Psalm 28, that the next day, "The Lord is my strength and shield. My heart trusted in Him, and I am helped." So he kept on repeating it. And on Wednesday, Psalm 29:11, the Lord will give strength to his people. Thursday, it was Psalm 30. యెహోవా నా దేవా నేను నీకు మొర్రపెట్టగా. So Wednesday దాకా strength and he was going on repeating. Then I thought, yeah, maybe I will lose my strength because of the surgery. He will give me strength, and that was very comforting to me. But on Thursday, that's the day before the surgery. ఆ రోజు my daily portion was Malachi 4:2, last chapter of the Old Testament. But to you who fear my name, the Son of Righteousness shall arise with healing in his wings, and you shall go out and grow fat. And my psalm was 30. యెహోవా నా దేవా నేను నీకు మొర్రపెట్టగా నీవు నన్ను స్వస్థపరిచితివి. నాకు చాలా సంతోషం వేసింది. ఐ వాజ్ సో హ్యాపీ. అరే నాకు రేపు సర్జరీ ఉంటే ఈయన హీలింగ్ గురించి మాట్లాడుతున్నారు. ఈ సచ్ అ లవ్లీ గాడ్ కదా అని I worshipped him, because I was afraid of it, because there's anesthesia. I told you I was really scared of it, and I thought, oh yes, he's talking about healing. Ankunna nenu. So the day of surgery, on that day I went. That was 31st, and in the morning they told us to come at 7 o'clock. So we went there, and my daily portion that day was a new beginning of Old Testament again, Genesis 1. Then I was trying to find out what he's trying to tell me. Then I thought, okay, fine, he created so much life here, so he will give me life, I thought. Okay, and I was reading, I read all of my verses, because I wrote all these verses in my, and then I read all of them. And that day the psalm was 31. ప్రాకారం గల పట్టణంలో యెహోవా తన కృప ఆశ్చర్యకరంగా నాకు చూపి ఉన్నాడు. 23 verse 23 in the same chapter, యెహోవా విశ్వాసులను కాపాడును. I got courage and I went there. At 9 o'clock they took me in. I never heard in my life a surgery could take place from morning 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the evening. It was all day surgery. Okay, and then in the evening 5 o'clock they put me in recovery room. At that time my hemoglobin was 56. That is 5.6, like 56 g/L. After they started panicking, because at that level people won't survive. It is such a low, until we have to have at least 120 to 150 grams per liter. Mine was 56, it was very, very low. At Atlantic stage low, your blood can't, your vital organs can't get the blood. Your brain can't get it, and your heart can stop. But God, Deuteronomy 33:27, he put his arms under me. Okay, human beings may make mistakes, but he was so faithful. He held me like that. He just survived me. అక్కడ Emmanuel తోటి మాట్లాడిపించినారు. అప్పుడు they didn't allow him to come in, and my speech was slurred. అది ఎట్లా ఉండి నాకు వస్తలేదు, మాటలు రావట్లేదు. అది అట్లా అయిపోయినాను. కానీ తర్వాత it went up to, they started giving me blood, and went up to 103, and then it fell again, and it went again. So next morning they realized another problem. That was the first risk. God helped me survive. This next day, that was the 1st of November, at 11 o'clock, all the doctors came running to me and said, one doctor came and said, everything's okay with you, but there's one problem, that you have to stay in the hospital for longer. Then I was just looking at her, because I thought I would go home the next day. So she said, during the surgery, what they did was they put stents on my kidney tubes, so that they don't come in the way. They removed one stent, but they forgot another stent, and they finished the surgery. Okay? And And they didn't realize that until the next day, because my readings were going up and down. That stent slipped and cut my ureter, that my kidney tube, and my kidneys got swollen, and my potassium levels and creatinine levels were going very high. It was not working. My left kidney was not working. So they were rushing me about, like, when they told me that, I was like, ఏంటి వీళ్ళు ఏం చెప్తున్నారు, దేవుడేమో నాకు ఇలా చేస్తానంటే వీళ్ళు ఏంటి ఇట్లా చెప్తున్నారు. మై మైండ్ యాక్చువల్లీ బికేమ్ క్వైట్. లైక్ దే all came, the whole team came and said that story. And they left. I was alone. So at that time, I was just thinking, let me read my daily portion again అనుకున్నా. ఆ రోజు ఆల్రెడీ రీడ్ చేసిన నేను పొద్దున లేసే పొద్దున. ఆ రోజు I went back to my, in such kind of situations of crisis situations లో I do that. I go back to my daily portion and I see what is he saying అని చూస్తాను. ఆ రోజు Genesis 2 ఉండే, Psalm 31 ఉండే. అయితే Genesis 2లో he creates human beings. I thought he's a creator, he can sustain me అన్నారు కదా అనుకున్నా. ఆ తర్వాత 31:21లో ప్రాకారము గల పట్టణం, 31, that is Psalm 32 ఉండింది నాది. Psalm 32. Let me read that. Psalm 32, 6. I'm reading the second part of it. Surely in the floods of great waters they shall not come near me, nigh unto him. Thou art my hiding place. Thou shalt preserve me from trouble. Thou shalt compass me about with songs of deliverance. When I read this, then I understood, అరే డాక్టర్స్ కాదు చెప్పేది, నేను డేంజర్లో ఉన్నాను, దేవుడు కూడా చెప్తున్నాడు ఇక. బికాజ్ he's లేదో ఫ్లడ్ ఆఫ్ గ్రేట్ వాటర్స్ నా మీదకి వచ్చినాడు. బట్ he said he's my hiding place. Then I thought, okay, let me read all my verses which he's been preparing me. I went back. I was very weak at that time, but I was very active in reading these verses. So I went back. I had my phone with me, and then I went back and I slowly read them. చాలా సంతోషం వేసింది. అరే 2 days ago చెప్పినాడు కదా హీలింగ్ ఇన్ హిస్ వింగ్స్ ఉంది అని, వీళ్ళేం చెప్తున్నారు అనుకున్నా. కానీ ఐ థాట్ హీ నోస్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ అబౌట్ మీ, సో నాకేం కాదు అనుకున్నా. ఐ వాజ్ ఫైన్. అండ్ I thought nothing will happen. There was no fear in my heart. I did not because there was lots of activity around me. The doctors and the nurses, they were rushing me to CT scans. Every 2 hours they used to take my blood. So they were very busy, but that kind of situation did not disturb me, because these verses were there around me. I think one thing what I understood is, like, వాళ్ళు విల్డర్నెస్లో వాళ్ళు నడుస్తున్నప్పుడు, children of Israel, he protected them with a wall of fire, pillar of fire and pillar of cloud. What I understood is, like, this God who is in heaven, he put all these verses around me as a pillar of fire. There is darkness on the other side which I could not see, and which I didn't want to see also, because he was there around me. అవి నాకు బలం ఇచ్చినాయి, కరెక్ట్గా ఆయన చెప్పినట్లా స్ట్రెంగ్త్ ఇచ్చినాయి అవి. సో actually the surgical procedure is that they have to do a corrective surgery immediately on me, because that's a very dangerous situation, that anything can happen, because that the ureter was cut, so the blood could be poisoned, sepsis could occur, or ఏదన్నా జరగవచ్చు, అక్కడ ఇన్ఫెక్షన్ రావచ్చు. But they were looking for an expert, I think. They made me wait until 5th of November. That was like 5 days later. But during this time, I can again say that God protected me again. This was a high-risk situation. But God remained faithful. He put my organs in His control. He didn't let anything happen. One doctor comes and tells me, "Oh, you're a medical wonder." Another one comes and says, "Oh, you're a miracle marvel." అవన్నీ నాకు వినిపిస్తున్నాయి. కానీ the thing is, like, I was thinking like, God is powerful. Okay, he can do anything అన్నది. He does wonders. And 71లో చదివినాం కదా, 77లో. It was so right of Him. On that day, one of the brothers, he sends daily calendar verse. Every day I get that. On that day, when I knew this news on 1st of November, it was Exodus 15:2. ఇవన్నీ వర్సెస్ చదివేసినాక ఆ వర్స్ వచ్చింది. I know the significance of that chapter, Exodus 15, where the children of Israel, they sing after they cross the Red Sea. వాళ్ళు ఏమంటున్నారంటే, the enemy has gone, you have won over the enemy, you are a man of war, నువ్వు యుద్ధశూరుడు అని పాడుతున్నారు వాళ్ళు. నాకు కూడా జాయ్ వచ్చింది. కరెక్ట్, అది నేను నాకు ఆల్రెడీ చేసినాడు అనుకున్నా. The atmosphere around me was different and the atmosphere in my heart was different. Okay, then in matter of 5 days, I underwent 3 major surgeries, which means 3 times of general anesthesia and a high risk of clots, blood clots and things like that. And they gave me so much of morphine for painkillers. They gave me lots of, I think 6 units of blood. Okay, కానీ ఇవన్నీ కూడా they did not affect me. The thing is, like, by 6th, that is the next day after my surgery, all my readings came okay, but then I was not able to walk. I was not able to sit and stand also because I had a nerve injury in my left groin. So they said, "Oh no, not available," they said. I thought, what are they saying? I can't walk? Then I have to go to work. And then a doctor, the urologist, thought, "No, forget about work," he said. Then I thought, at that time, that verse came into my head. The eternal God is my refuge. Underneath are His everlasting arms. And on that Sunday, the previous Sunday, he said, I will go up and down. Anandi kada, Zechariah 10:12 I will strengthen them in the Lord. They shall walk up and down in His name. Adi Sunday రోజున ఆయన చెప్పిన మాట అది. I will walk up and down అన్నారు కదా అనుకున్నా. కానీ that was so painful, like, I was not able to put my foot on the ground. And then 2 days later, so physiotherapist tried walking me. By then, his church, you people were praying for me. You prayed every day for me, and God was listening to that prayer. Okay, మీరు కలిసి ప్రేయర్ చేస్తున్నారు, మీ ఫ్యామిలీ ప్రేయర్స్లో చేస్తున్నారు, మీ పిల్లలు ప్రేయర్ చేస్తున్నారు. మేము అక్కడ హీలింగ్లో వెళ్ళే హేవెన్ గ్రీన్ బ్యాప్టిస్ట్ చర్చ్ వాళ్ళు కూడా ప్రేయర్ చేస్తున్నారు. God valued that prayers. And that is a beautiful thing I enjoyed during all this time. ఏంటంటే, one person is suffering and the whole church is praying. And God in heaven, He can be very busy with other righteous people on the earth. He doesn't have to really bother about an annoying person like me. So He showed mercy on me. And then He answered your prayers and He touched me. He kept me safe. So this is what I understand, that the prayer of the righteous is balam galadi anundi kada. Adi, that's so important. I understood, not right from my childhood, that has been my life actually. The church prayed for me, I got things. My parents prayed for me, I got things. Even now, as a grown up, I have the same beautiful blessing from the church prayer. I can say that. So that's how I survived. Then they sent me home on 11th of November. That was a Tuesday. ఒకటి చెప్తాను నేను. ఫిఫ్త్ రోజున నాకు మేజర్ సర్జరీ ఉండే, యూరలాజికల్ సర్జరీ. అయితే దాని ముందర రోజు దే సెండ్ యూ అ consent thing. Okay, so you have to read all that and sign it for the surgery. And in India, they'll ask your parents to do, your husband to do, but here they'll ask you to do. Okay, so I was already weak, and then I read the whole thing, and it had so many risks. There were so many risks actually, and I was thinking there were more risks than the first surgery and the second surgery. నాకు బాధ అయిపోయింది, ఇదేం రా అనుకొని పెట్టేసినాను. I just closed it and I thought, okay, I have time until 5 o'clock. They said you have to do it by 5 o'clock. 5 o'clockకి ఇమానుయల్ వచ్చినాడు. ఇమానుయల్ ఆ రోజు ట్యూస్డే ఉండే. ఇమానుయల్ వస్తే సరే ఆ టైంలో కొంచెం ధైర్యం వస్తుంది, అప్పుడు సైన్ చేద్దాంలే అనుకో. కానీ సైన్ చేయడానికి మళ్ళీ ఓపెన్ చేస్తే నాకు ఏడుపు వచ్చేసింది, చాలా బాధ అనిపించింది. నేను I have to sign it. I can't say no because I have to survive. So, but then these risks, what about these risks? Nobody can save me from this risk. So I signed it, but on that day, church was praying and I was online. I used to come online and from the hospital also. So you guys prayed and I thought, oh, nothing will happen to me. Suddenly again all balam came to me. Then the next day happened. The next day, the words in the calendar, daily calendar verse was, యుద్ధము నాకు బలము నాకు ధరింపజేసేదవు. ఓహో, there is a battle here అనుకున్నా. ఆ తర్వాత ఆరో క్యాలెండర్ వర్స్, ఆయన మన రోగములను భరించేనేదో వచ్చింది. సారీ, నేను ఐమ్ లుకింగ్ ఎట్ మై ఫోన్ because I've got lots of information on this. Okay, so he said that, you have armed me with strength for the battle. You have subdued my enemies under my feet. I took the pictures. Emmanuel used to take the pictures of calendar verse and send it to me. And I used to get lots of strength from these verses. So, ఆ రోజు తర్వాత I was discharged. And I came home, and that was a Tuesday. And so church prayer, you guys prayed, and at the end, the song was the first church prayer from home nadi after discharge. It ended with a song, బలపరచు నీ భక్తులను బలము తోడ ప్రవేశించి అని పాడుతున్నారు మీరు. అది పాడుతుంటే I was there in one corner in London, and I was so happy. Yes, he's going to, అదే సేమ్ థింగ్ చెప్తున్నారే నాకు బలమిస్తా అని అనుకున్నాను. థింగ్ ఈజ్ లైక్, one thing I can say that our daily portions are not accidents. He will prepare something. He has a purpose, and he prepares something for us for that day. So that's why I can say that now. The thing is, I've always experienced that. That's why it's called daily portion or daily bread, isn't it? So we should not skip it. The way these daily Bible readings helped me, they gave me so much of courage through this thing. At this moment, on 19th, they tested me again, January 19th. On that day, they said, Kriplini, do you know, you'll be surprised to know, Nikasalu, there is no further treatment, no examination. You don't even have to be on a medication. Adi, it is definitely God's work. Adi. I am not on any medication. Also, the thing is like, he just did what he said. He said that he is going to protect me. He's my hiding place, Annaru. He was my hiding place. Smoke under. Exactly atne undi na case. Enante I just went in, I came out, but I saw God's goodness. I saw God's faithfulness. Now one more thing I want to say. Brothers came and they comforted me. And on that day, Ramesh brother was sharing Mark 5, that lady with the 12 years of issue. He was explaining that, and one verse actually stood out for me. Mark 5:34. దాంట్లో ఏముంటుందంటే, one verse is extra. అది Matthew 9లో కూడా the same thing is written, but in Mark it is slightly different. Mark 5:34, he says, be of go in peace and be నీ బాధ నివారణాయను అని ఉంటుంది తెలుగులో. ఇంగ్లీష్లో ఒకలాగా ఉంది, కానీ తెలుగులో ఏమని ఉంటుంది అంటే, నీ బాధ నివారణ అంటే, నేను మంచిగా జాగ్రత్తగా విన్నాను. నేను నా బాధ నివారణ అవుతుంది అంటే, నేను కంప్లీట్లీ ఐల్ బి అవుట్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ అనుకున్నా. అది ఇట్ వాజ్ బిఫోర్ 19th of January. అది ఇట్ వాజ్ ఇన్ డిసెంబర్ అనుకుంటా, డిసెంబర్ నవంబర్ అది అనుకున్నా. ఆ నెక్స్ట్ డే హెబ్రోన్ మెసేజ్ వింటుంటే ఇంకొక బ్రదరు సేమ్ పోర్షన్ తీసినాడు. హీ వాజ్ నాట్ టాకింగ్ ఆన్ Matthew 9. దిస్ పార్ట్ ఈజ్ నాట్ దేర్. నీ బాధ నివారణ అంటే కంప్లీట్గా పోతుందని కదా. హీ ఆల్సో స్పీకింగ్ ఆన్ Mark 5:34. When it repeats, I take it as if it is from God. So I thought, he's going to remove my complete problem. And he did that on 19th of January. So that's why we call him faithful. But at the moment now, I understood that every day is very precious for me, because he's given me a life again. But the ball is in my court, because he did everything as God. But I don't know how I can reciprocate. ఈరోజు వాక్యం వింటుంటే ఐఎమ్ టూ ఫార్ అవే ఫ్రమ్ దట్ హోలీనెస్ అండ్ ఒబీడియన్స్. ఐవ్ గాట్ లాట్స్ ఆఫ్ షార్ట్ కమింగ్స్, లైక్ చాలా డిస్బిలీఫ్ వస్తుంది. ఐ మిస్ ఆపర్చునిటీస్ మెనీ టైమ్స్, telling about God, and I love myself too much. I sleep a lot without praying and waste my time. I do a lot of things, but I don't know. I think, I need your prayers for that. I want you to uphold me in your prayers every day. Not just for my physical health, but also for my spiritual health. Because I don't want to waste my further life. Okay, I want to reciprocate to this God who has been very good to me. And I thank you also, because you took part in this beautiful thing, and you gave Emmanuel and me full support. ప్రేయర్ సపోర్ట్ అన్నది మామూలుగా మేము ప్రేయరే కదా చేసినాం అని అనుకోదు. ఆ ప్రేయర్ ఒక లైఫ్ని నిలబెట్టింది అంటే ఒక సోల్ని కూడా నిలబెట్టగలదు ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ స్పిరిచువల్. సో ప్రేయర్ ఈజ్ సంథింగ్ దట్ ఈస్ వెరీ వైటల్ అని అర్థమైంది నాకు. And God values that, and you did that. I thank you for that. And you supported Emmanuel also and comforted him and helped him. And the thing is, I thank for all of that. So keep praying for me, that I may be faithful to him. Thank you.